All right, well, this is officially episode 2 now of the Swamp Signal. At the time of this recording, I'm looking over at the box score. At the time of this recording, we are at 2-minute warning of the Florida Miami game. Initial thoughts: I was at work for the first Florida and Miami drive, each offensively, and I didn't want to watch anymore. Obviously, as you can see, I'm in my retro Tim Tebow jersey because go Gators always. But this game is horrible. I mean, I'm looking at the box score right now. Lagway has 59 passing yards. Yes, 59 with no touchdowns, no interceptions. Jaden Bogg has 46 rushing yards on 12 attempts and a touchdown. Jacoby Jackson has 7 carries for 39 yards. Trey Wilson has 2 for 3 yards. And Lagway has 7 carries for -8. Obviously, some sacks in there. Vernell Brown is the leading receiver with 2 catches for 22 yards, longest being 12 yards. Initial thoughts is the play calling is horrible. I mean, you look at the Tank Hawkins, what was that, 4th and 3? Look at that Tank Hawkins 4th down. He runs that route one more yard. It's a completely different game. I'm not going to say we score a touchdown. There's a chance we put points on the board there. Make Miami not have an 8-minute drive to punch in a touchdown to win the game. Or I guess put the game away in a sense. I mean, even Carson Beck wasn't great. 17 for 30, 160 yards and a pick. They ran the ball all over us. Mark Fletcher had 23 carries for 115 yards. I mean, they had 182 total rushing yards. They had 182 rushing yards, 160 passing yards to our combined. It's loading. Hold on, let's see here. They had 300. Well, I guess as of the 2-minute warning, they have 342 total yards. And Florida won the turnover battle to Florida's 139 yards of offense. I'm sorry, Billy's got to go. Yes, Lagway made some errant throws, overthrew a lot of guys. There's that, like I already mentioned, the Tank Hawkins route where if he runs that route an extra yard deep, it's a first down on 4th down. But in the same conversation, Lagway overthrew a bunch of throws. We were 0 for 12. 0 for 12 on 3rd down to Miami's 8 and 15. I mean, they have more than 200 yards more total offense. What are we supposed to do with something like that? We can't. Our offense cannot compete in these games. Billy Napier as the play caller for the Florida Gators is not an option. I'm over the fact that, Billy Napier can recruit. Oh, and speaking of, Miami just punched in a touchdown. So we are now at 25-7. Thanks, Bill. Billy Napier can't keep calling these plays for us. He can't be our primary play caller. And I'm over the fact that he can recruit. I don't care anymore. We're the University of Florida. We're supposed to be a competitive football program. Our starting quarterback throws 5 picks in the first conference game of the year. Now we're playing our second, arguably biggest in-state rival, and we are down 26-7 after we got embarrassed last year. 41-13? I think that was the score last year. And that game was at home. Billy's got to go. We have a bye week going into Texas. I'll be at the Texas game. That'll be my first game this season. Last year I was a student. I went to every single game. Now, unfortunately, I'm working. And this will be my first game this year. And I would love to look down on that sideline and not see Billy Napier. Although that's not going to happen because Scott Strickland won't fire him. I'm not sure why. But I wouldn't want to be Scott Strickland, and I sure as hell would not want to be Billy Napier right now. I mean, they have 107 yards of offense in the second half. They have 107 of their 139 yards in the second half of this football game. I don't care if Miami is arguably the number one team in the country. Yes, I know they're number 4. Some people think they're the best team in the country through and through, and I think they have a great defense. Ruben Bain is a monster. Carson Beck's all right. Damian Martinez is a beast. Or Mark Fletcher. Mark Fletcher? Damian Martinez? Mark Fletcher, my bad. I think Mark Fletcher's a beast. But we can't even be competitive in these games. We are now 0-2 in games with in-state teams. We lost to USF, which we shouldn't have. And now we're just getting dog walked by Miami for the second year in a row. Florida fans are done. Like I mentioned, I'm going to the Texas game in 2 weeks. I guarantee you, I'm not going to guarantee it because Florida fans in all kinds of weather. But I would not be shocked if we don't see a sold out post from the football team. Because arguably, who wants to go? Who wants to go see an offense that's going to score 7, 10, 8, 9 points? Who wants to go see that? Who wants to go watch their diehard team, their school, their alma mater? Who wants to go watch them get blown out at home? So if people aren't going to the Texas game, I can't say I blame them. And this is my, again, just immediate thoughts, reactions to this game. Billy Napier's got to go. Oh, Lagway's up to 61 passing yards. 2-yard completion. Awesome. Where's his long ball? That was his kind of, I'm not going to say bread and butter. We got to see a little bit more of the running Lagway tonight. But where's that long ball accuracy we saw last year? I don't know. You might know. I don't know where it is. So I'll keep this one short and sweet. I'm officially on board. I was hesitant for a very, very long time. I liked Billy Napier. I thought he was not necessarily the guy. I don't think anyone's ever the guy until they prove it. But I thought Billy Napier had a chance to be the guy. You know, he brought in all this 5-star talent. But I don't think he is. Actually, I know he's not. I know he's not. Because this is the most talented team we have had here in Gainesville, Florida. And we have, and Miami just got the ball back. I'm assuming we didn't convert on 4th down. Be my guess. And I wouldn't be surprised if they run up the score because why wouldn't they? Back on track. Billy's got to go. As a recent student and recent alumni, probably speak for my family who are also both alumni or alumnus, whatever the proper grammar is on that. They want him gone just as much. I think my mom and I were on the same page that kind of holding out hope. My dad's been against this guy since last year, since the Texas A&M game last year. I'm on board. He's got to go. Thing is, I don't think Strickland will fire him. Think about it. Strickland, with no university president, gave himself a raise and a contract extension. Who gave that extension? Did Scott Strickland give himself a raise and extension as athletic director of the University of Florida? If someone else knows, feel free to comment it below. But the interim president hadn't been hired yet. President Fox was no longer the interim president. So it was the point where Florida didn't have a president. University of Florida had no president. And Scott Strickland gets a raise and extension. Did he give himself a raise and extension? So will Billy ever be fired this year? Or ever at that point? I don't know. How much money Does the University of Florida have to lose before Billy Napier is fired? Honestly, because I don't know. I don't know. Billy's got to go. Short and sweet. We're going into a bye week. Give the team an interim coach, Brandon Spikes. Let Brandon Spikes coach the team. Be a head coach. He doesn't have to call plays. But let Brandon Spikes be the voice in the locker room. The guy. The interim guy. Whatever. Let Brandon Spikes be the voice of that locker room. Have someone else call the plays. Hell, call Graham Mertz. I think he's CJ Stroud's backup in Houston or third string in Houston. Give him a call. What's he doing? You want to call plays? Can it really? Honestly, what could make this season worse at this point? Because at this point, we're sure as hell not going to beat Florida State. Fuck, we might lose next week to the bye week. We might be 1-4 going into the Texas game. I don't know. Billy Napier's at the helm. Anything can happen. Final 26-7. Final stat line, DJ Lagway, 12 for 23, 61 yards passing, 2.7 yards per completion. Jaden Bogg, 12 carries for 46 yards, 3.8 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. Jacoby Jackson, 7 carries for 39 yards, 5.6 yards per carry, no touchdowns. DJ Lagway ends with 8 carries for 8 yards. Based off what I read earlier, that sounds like another sack. I don't know. But I do know that I will be boots on the ground in 2 weeks, win, lose, or draw. The Gators are officially 0-2 in conference, 1-3 on the season, if you count the Long Island game as a win. Lost to LSU, lost to USF, and lost to Miami. Again. So, on the bright side, that parlay I gave everyone a couple days ago, we're 3 for 4. All we need is Michigan State to cover 19.5. The line went up. I had 18.5 in the video. I hadn't put it in. Now Michigan State is 19.5. So that game starts 12 minutes ago. I'll be tuning into that. But we'll do a hopefully semi calmed down and more toned down episode later this week at some point. My apartment complex does not have air conditioning. It's 84 degrees in here right now. So I'm going to get out of here. But this was my immediate reaction from tonight's game against Miami. Disappointed is an understatement. Look, LSU scored 56 points. Southeast Louisiana, they scored 56 points. And we held them to 13 offensive points last week. Couldn't win that game. Thanks, Bill. He doesn't even deserve Billy anymore. He's Bill. He is Bill Napier. Anyway. Oh, and by the way, Texas scored 55 with not allowing a single point. So, awesome. Go us. We beat Long Island the same score. October 4th could be an interesting game. Anyway, on that note, everyone, you guys have a great night. We will follow up this week following any news that comes out. We'll probably do an episode. Comes out Thursday, hopefully. But on that note, I will see you guys later this week. And despite the tough loss, to a bitter rival, go Gators always. Peace. I'll see you guys next week.